All right, so in this session, we're going to be talking about Binance, a crypto exchange that has been gaining popularity recently. Now, Bittrex is probably the best in terms of pairs and it has the largest number of crypto pairs for any exchange out there. But recently, they started accepting customers. And so I had to start searching for an alternative in a professional trading platform. And that's when I came across Binance or Binance, which I believe is a combination of two names, which is probably Bits and Finance. Binance is a Chinese crypto exchange that, in my humble opinion, is probably great for traders. I've heard a lot about it. I've been using it quite recently. I'm finding it pretty good. Now, it looks very rudimentary at first, but once you dig into the details, you start to see there are a good number of pairs in Binance. And as you can see, I've starred or favorited a couple of them, but they basically trade BTC markets, ETH, and USDT. Now, USDT is quite a few right now. There's not much right there. ETH, there is quite a good number of pairs, and I believe that this is the way forward as well. BTC, again, as you can see, a good number of pairs, probably not as much as Bittrex, but it is very good. And there's another one called BNB, which I'll get to very quickly as well. Now, they own a coin called BNB, which is a pretty good strategy for them, and I'll explain that as well, why that is really important. But first, we'll look at the interface for Binance. Now, there are two options. There's a basic option and there's an advanced option. So the basic option is a very straightforward, very easy to understand screen with a couple of panels. You have the trades that are going on, which is basically the time and sales, the bids and the asks. The price, the market price. You have a nice chart. You have 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 day, full screen options, and you have all the currencies available on the right side and all that. And a very simple interface for the orders and the transactions to be placed in. Now, what is more interesting for me is the advanced section, and that's basically why I'm very impressed by this. You can add a whole lot of stuff into this. You can add indicators. You can, the basic stuff like stocks or stochastics, moving averages, as many as you want. I have mine here right now, and you can quickly select them in this option as well here for the currencies that you really have or favorited as well. I like this platform. It's just an amazing platform. It's really easy to use. One thing I like about it, more importantly, is the quotes feature. Now, for example, this is an XRP BTC quote that is going on right now. But as you can see in yellow here, it's in US dollars. So this is XRP in US dollars. I don't need to do any conversions. And for me, that's very good because a lot of the times when you talk to traders, some of them talk in US dollar terms. Oh, XRP is 1.5, it's moved to 2.3. But I focus mostly on the BTC side. So I want to know in BTC, then I have to sit and convert everything. These guys have done the conversion right here. And that to me is an amazing thing. I don't know why exchanges don't do this. They should do this more often. Now, more importantly than this and the exchange is actually the scaling. Now, I'm going to explain that quickly here. When you want to buy something, you don't go and buy 100%. And I don't recommend that as well, unless you're very sure about the direction of the trade. But you can scale into an option and say, okay, look here. I have some XRP here. I want to scale out. So I'm going to put 25 and immediately, from my 174 total, it calculates 43 and then puts that there. If I want 50% out, I want 75% or 100% out. Those are clicks for me. It's very, very simple. You can download my small booklet on scaling into positions. I'm giving away that for free right now. And with this is more important for cryptos specifically. And this is basically what professional traders do. They scale into positions as they watch them as well. So the other thing that I really like about this is it's fast. It's very quick. I want to buy something. I want to sell something. Just click a couple of buttons and just click sell. And that's it, and it's immediate almost. Market orders, pretty simple as well. They get, transacted at the hour, so that's pretty good. The stop limit is even more interesting, and I'll explain that as well. If let's say you have a 174 XRP, right? Now I want to scale out of 87 of them. So I'm going to do is I'm going to say at 153.59, okay? And I'm just going to keep the limit just below that, let's say 35, right? Now when I click sell, it confirms this to me. If the last price rises to or above 15339 BTC, an order to sell 87 XRP at a price of 130, very, very clear. That's really what I like. and it's so easy to use. Now that's why I recommend this for people who are trading or beginning to trade as well. You'll get more familiar with this. The problem right now that we have is that many of the trading platforms that are out there have not really been developed with traders in mind. They are just simple web-based, 1.0 or 2.0 web-based platforms. They're not really trading platforms like you have with TD Ameritrade or Thinkorswim or Tastyworks or all these professional platforms out there, or Ninja Trader and all that. And that's what I want to see happening in the future. So these guys are, I think working towards that. They're trying to move towards that. They have a lot of features as well. They even have a desktop and a phone app. Now the desktop app is only for Windows, so if you're a Mac user, very sorry about that. The phone app, I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you're on the iPhone, primarily because it wasn't coming through the App Store. So I don't know about that. I don't recommend it, but hey, you can have it there if you want to trade on the go, which is it's a 24-hour market. You might want to be trading from wherever you are. That's the best thing to have. Now, there are other features, of course, in the desktop version, which is the multi-chart version. So you can have a look at different charts and, across different time frames. And I really like that. But the biggest thing I think that causes me to think about Binance is basically the fees. Now, when I say the fees is basically really, really cheap compared to what you have with Bittrex. Now, Bittrex, the fees is 0.25%, whereas in Binance, it is 0.1%. So that's 50% cheaper. And if you use their token, BNB, you get another 50% off for this year. So that's more than 70 to 80% in savings, and it adds up eventually. Right, so right now I'm paying 0.0105%. I'm paying less than the normal fees, and that's amazing. I really love this, and that's if you're a regular trader and you're going to be trading cryptocurrencies, you got to keep an eye on the fees, and they do add up. Now, another great feature that I noticed that these guys have is basically if you are into NEO, which is NEOcoin, you can store your NEO on this exchange, and they will give you gas. So they say Binance has distributed December gas for NEO. So this is a nice feature that is. I don't recommend keeping large amounts on the exchange. As always, I highly recommend that you keep them in your wallet. But hey, if you want to gain a bit of extra miles there and you want your gas for the NEO that is being stored, rather than have it on Bittrex or any other platform, you might as well keep it here, or even rather than on any other wallet. So you just focus on one area. Now, another quick tip before you leave. When you transfer between exchanges, now many people have asked me this question, when you transfer between any exchange, use ETH or LTC. The reason is it's faster than BTC, and the average transaction cost is actually cheaper as well. So there's a tip for you, and I hope you join Binance. I've given a link as well. Please click on that. It's a referral link. If not, just go to binance.com and sign up. But I think this could be a very, very interesting platform. Right now, the sign up process is very easy. There's you don't really have much of a verification, but please do put in your two-factor authentication. If you want to verify yourself, you can take more, take out more than 100 BTC from the exchange. But for the time being, without any verification whatsoever, it's a 2 BTC limit. So leave your questions in the comment section or email me at master@zencapital.com. I'd love to answer your questions as I enjoy reading them as well. I highly recommend, once again, sign up for Binance. It's pretty good and you'll love it.